Thanks for stopping by today's tour. I'm Kevin, and we're going to be looking at dozens of different trees and shrubs as they transition from these lush green summer colors to the wide range of fall colors that I look forward to every year. I just can't believe how dramatically gardens can change in just a few months. And our first tree up is a clump tree straight ahead, the Royal Frost Birch. If you're looking for a tree that has a dark purple foliage during the growing season, the Royal Frost is an excellent choice. It's got a strong central leader and a nice upright habit. And as we transition into fall, check out this orangish rusty red leaf color. Very, very nice. It's also a nice contrast against the whitish cinnamon bark color. And just to the left here is a shorter tree with an umbrella-shaped habit, the thornless cockspur hawthorn. This too eventually puts on a great display with orangish red leaves emerging, and as a bonus, these bright red fruits. They'll persist into winter months for an excellent contrast against the white snow, as well as providing food for wildlife. And next we have a conifer with fall color, the American larch. They've got soft green needles during the summer, which will soon begin their transition into a bright yellow fall color. And then as we move into winter, those needles will drop. The larch stand, also called tamarack, are considered deciduous evergreens that are native to wet bog areas. Off in the distance is a larger tree, a Russian olive. They've got no fall colors to speak of, but they do have a really nice silver green leaf throughout the growing season. Here we've got a regal prince oak. It's a great pyramidal shaped tree with rich green foliage during the growing season. And then those leaves start turning this golden brown into the fall. This tree eventually reaches a mature height around 25 feet tall by 18 feet wide. I really love this next tree, the Northern Empress Japanese elm. It's a fast-growing, small to medium-sized elm tree that's nearly seedless, changing from this rich green during the summer season to an apricot orange, and then eventually a burgundy red fall color. This is a great tree for the prairie states where I live, the northern Great Plains, as it will tolerate our high pH soils. This tree is growing in a new bed that I added earlier this year, and I'm hoping to transplant quite a few perennials in here this fall that are getting choked out in their current locations, so keep an eye out for that video. Okay, off in the distance, that 5 to 6 foot size shrub on the right, it's a glossy black chokeberry. It's just starting to show its colors, which will range between the oranges, reds, and yellows. The berries you see here, they're also great for wildlife and are used in many specialty wines now, the Aronia wine, as well as jams and jellies. It's also a showy shrub in the spring with these white flowers. Next up is an aggressive shrub that I've been trying to keep this smaller each season, but it keeps just getting ahead of me. Luckily, the 9-barks are great candidates for rejuvenation pruning, so I can start it over again if I need to. This is Dart's Gold 9-bark, and if we get a prolonged fall, it can really be showy with these orangish red leaves. And just to the left, this lower growing ground cover shrub established below this tall weeping white spruce, it's Grollo sumac. It's also called fragrant sumac due to a fragrance given off by the leaves. In the spring, it's got this soft yellow flower and eventually this excellent red fall color. Next up is another conifer that gets a fall color, but this one keeps its needles on year-round, unlike the American larch that we looked at. The green globe pine here is the winter sun bugle pine. Those green needles will start turning yellow late September into October and eventually becoming this bright yellow throughout the winter months, making it a great contrast off the snow. I just love this plant in the winter. I can't recommend this one enough. And then in the spring, those yellow needles change back to green. Our next tree has a nice fall color, but what it's mostly sold for are these outstanding early summer blooms. Snowdance Japanese tree lilac, isn't that something? But I'll take the fall colors too with that two-tone yellowish brown. Next up is a shrub that has a nice golden yellow leaf during the summer growing season and first starts to turn pink in the fall and eventually shows off with this mix of orange, red, and yellow leaves. The Tiger Eyes Staghorn sumac. Here's a couple more photos I took in other landscapes showing the stunning fall colors, and you can see it gets pretty large, up to 6 feet tall. Another sumac that has green leaves during the growing season is the cutleaf smooth sumac, and it also gets great red fall colors. Keep in mind that sumacs can sucker and come up in a lot of locations you may not appreciate. Okay, the next 3 trees we'll look at are the Ohio buckeye, showy mountain ash, and a clump tree, the autumn brilliant serviceberry. The straight species of Ohio buckeye can be unpredictable, with its fall colors being either brownish, yellow, and sometimes red depending on the tree. But if you want reliable red fall color each season, the Prairie Torch hybrid variety is a good choice. In the description box below, I'll link to a recent video I did on this Prairie Torch if you'd like to take a closer look at this tree. The showy mountain ash has great fall colors, and those showy fruit clusters, they stand out even more next to this summer green foliage. This is a Zone 2 hardy tree that has showy characteristics all season long. The Anna Brilliant serviceberry starts spring with these showy white flowers, and then the serviceberry fruits will begin to emerge. The birds absolutely love these, so you have to be quick if you want to get some for yourselves. And eventually it's got a nice range of leaf colors in the fall, between the oranges and the reds. Here's a quick look back at the bed showing many of the trees we discovered to give you a different perspective. Okay, let's move along here around the corner of this gazebo where the grape leaves have already fallen off. And it's not always about the leaves when we're talking about fall colors. This is limelight hydrangea. It's a showstopper in late summer for sure with these large white panicle flowers, but I love this shrub for its fall and winter interest too. I always leave these spent flowers on until spring and enjoy them all winter long. That's not fall color on that yellow plant you see ahead. That's yellow ribbon arborvitae. It's like that year-round, but I'm just quick mentioning it as a comparison to those other conifers we looked at that do get yellow fall colors. The next tree up already has lost most of its leaves for the fall, and it's mostly sold for the showy white flowers that bloom really early in the spring. This is mountain frost parabet. Back when I used to sell trees, I always recommended it for its fall colors too. My favorite lilac is the Miss Kim lilac. Here again, lilacs are usually sold for their showy spring flowers, but I love this shrub for the purplish leaf color it gets. The cardinal dogwood has great fall colors with a mix of the green changing to red, but I mostly like this shrub for its long, tall red stems in the winter. What a contrast. But this one gets large and can easily reach 10 feet, so you've got to have some space for it. If I didn't have date stamps on the photos to prove it, you probably wouldn't believe me that this plant was only a few inches tall. About a year and a half ago, I cut it way back to the ground. It's just amazing how fast dogwoods can grow. Up next is another larch that gets yellow needles in the fall, but this is a weeping variety rather than an upright tree. The colors start changing yellow in October, and this variety is starting to pick up some red hues. Very nice. I'll link to one more video in the description that shows some pruning I did on this larch where I removed a lot of dead branches that start to build up in here. Okay, we'll be looking at that next tree off in the distance in just a moment, but first let's take a look at hot wings maple. It gets its name from these bright red seeds or samaras it produces. I'll mention that this tree is considered invasive in some areas, so be careful there. I love the showy samaras, but the fall colors, they're pretty good too, with hints of red in the mainly yellow leaves. A similar sized tree that does get a reliable red color is this group of clump maples I have growing, the flame maple. Just a, well, flame color. I just absolutely love these in the fall, just amazing. Let's go back to that larger tree I mentioned just a moment ago, the prairie stature oak. In my area of the northern Great Plains, we can't grow many of the red oaks that need more acidic soil, so I'm glad to have this hybrid available. It doesn't get quite as red as the true red oaks, and it often looks even a little bit more orangish brown. But it's a fast grower for an oak and a variety that has persistent leaves hanging on well into the winter. Here's another red twig dogwood that came up from a seed, so I don't have a variety name, but it has almost a purple color rather than that brighter red we saw on the cardinal. Like the oaks, we also can't grow as many red maples as I would like due to our higher soil pH. So one thing I've done, I've experimented with this maple growing in this container that you see here, which I believe has been in here almost 7 years now. This is North Wind maple. This is part of the Jack Frost collection grown in my Isley nursery out in Oregon. Beautiful leaf colors throughout the season, but stands out in the fall. Okay, let's head back down this path and continue to our next group of plants. That red off in the distance, that's the smooth sumac we mentioned when we were looking at the tiger eye sumac. Here's an interesting little shrub with a long name. It's Purple Leaf Bailey Select American Hazelnut. Yeah. It starts out with this deep burgundy leaf in the spring, and then through the summer it has this blend of burgundy with the green leaves. Many references indicate it will have a burgundy fall color as well, but so far I'm noticing mostly this peach color. Many of the spring flowering crabapple varieties will also have excellent fall colors, along with the showy fall fruits. Growing here is a smaller red splendor flowering crabapple, still pretty young, but it'll soon be showing some great leaf colors. Again, the smooth sumac, the flame amur maple we talked about. Here's another Miss Kim lilac starting to turn that nice purple fall color. But let's take a look at this nice little shrub here that has season-long interest. The Amber Jubilee Ninebark. Here's how it looks in the fall, this light purple with traces of green, but check out the leaves in the spring. And then as we move into the summer, it changes into this multicolored leaf with yellows, oranges, and red. And then changing again into fall for its fall colors. One day this is going to be a large tree. This is accolade elm. Elms have predominantly yellow fall colors, but I'm happy to see this one is showing some slight red tone. Nothing like the Northern Empress elm we looked at, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen each season as it grows and matures. Okay, here's an interesting little tree, the Prairie Radiance Winterberry Euonymus. It's more often seen growing in shrub form, but this one has been trained as a tree. Look at that pink fall color, just something you really don't see, very unique. And it's also got this interesting little pink capsule in the fall. What a great little tree. And those shrubs surrounding it, they're the emerald carousel barberries. I believe this was put on the invasive list in many states, so it's probably not available anymore. But it starts out in the spring loaded with these yellow flowers that really draw in the bees. And then those green leaves change into this outstanding fall color. And it's also got a persistent fruit that hangs on for the winter, providing some interest and food for wildlife. Before we move on to our last tree, I wanted to share with you some large trees growing nearby at a friend's house. Those bright yellow trees in the background are quaking aspens, also called shimmering aspens because of how their leaves shimmer in the wind. I don't have room for trees this large in my landscape, so I opted for a columnar variety, the aspen called Mountain Sentinel aspen. Okay, we're getting close to wrapping this up. Let's finish up with one of my favorite columnar plants, the Parkland Pillar Birch. It's got these green leaves throughout the main growing season, but about mid-October, they'll start to change into what I believe is one of the brightest yellows you'll find. I might eventually prune up some of the lower branches on this so we can enjoy the white bark contrast on this tree against the leaves. So there you have it. That's all I've got to share with you for now on many of the different trees and shrubs as they transition from summer to fall. Thanks for stopping my garden hike. I appreciate it. We'll see you again next video.